Hey guys, this is Malinki. Welcome back to my channel Voice of Malinki. Today we will talk about status of hemichordata. And if you are new in my channel, please subscribe my channel. And if you like my video, please do like, comment and share my video. So when we talk about the status of a particular animal, it means where the animal is placed in its taxonomy, or you can say what is its systematic position. In 1814, Sedgwick and Huxley suggested the affinities of hemichordata with the vertebrates. In 1865, Meshnikov concluded that hemichordata had certain affinities with echinodermata. In 1885, Bateson considered this group as a subphylum of the phylum Chordata. In 1893, Svengel showed the relationship of hemichordata with Annelida. So we will talk about them one by one. First is affinities with chordata. Resemblances. So notochord, central nervous system and gill clefts. So these three features are common in both chordata and hemichordata. So this is the structure of chordata. Here we can see this is the notochord. Brain is present in the central nervous system. These are some gill clefts. These are some thin pore-like structures which are present in gills. And this is the post-anal tail. It is basically present in chordata. So we can see that this notochord, the central nervous system and gill clefts are common in both chordata and hemichordata. So the hemichordata differs from the chordata in the following features. Chordates do not have the body and coelomic regions corresponding to those of hemichordates. Coelomic regions means the cavities which are present in the body, and the parts of the body and coelomic regions are not similar in chordates and hemichordates. Post-anal tail absent in hemichordata, whereas in the last picture we have seen that post-anal tail is present in chordata. This tail is present after the anus, which is absent in hemichordata. The nervous system and circulatory systems of hemichordata are like those of invertebrates. So although they have nervous system and circulatory system, but these systems of hemichordata are not very similar with chordata, but they are like invertebrates. Chordates are segmented animals. They have segments, whereas segmentation is absent in hemichordata. So body of the chordata contains many segments, but these segmentations are absent in hemichordata. Affinities with Annelida. So hemichordata resemble the Annelida in the following features. The general body form and burrowing habit are alike. So the general body structure is same and the burrowing habit is also same. So when we talk about Annelida, earthworm is the example of Annelida. So we know that earthworm has the burrowing habit. This type of habit is also present in hemichordata, and both of them ingest mud while burrowing and then pass out the mud from their anus. This is the common feature both of them have. Tornaria larvae of Hemichordata appears like a modified trochosphere larva of Annelida. So both of them have larva. The larva of Hemichordata is called Tornaria and the larva of Annelida is called trochosphere. So the Tornaria larva looks like a modified trochosphere larva. Now the Hemichordata differs from the Annelida in the following features. So gill slits are absent in Annelida. Gill slits are not present in Annelida, whereas those are present in Hemichordata. Paired nerve cords are present in Annelida, but these are absent in Hemichordata. Now, the larvae of Annelida and Hemichordata differ in following ways. Here we can see the differences in their larvae. So first is Nephridia, that is absent in Tornaria larva. So Nephridia is absent in Tornaria larva, but this is present in Trochosphere larva. Nephridia is the excretory organ and it is absent in Tornaria larva, whereas present in Trochosphere larva. Preoral coelom is absent in Trochosphere larva but present in Tornaria larva. Preoral coelom is a coelom or cavity that is present before the mouth, that is absent in Trochosphere larva and present in Tornaria larva. Blastopore becomes the mouth in Trochosphere larva, while in Tornaria it becomes the anus. So what is blastopore? So this is the blastopore. Blastopore is actually this opening that is formed during the gastrulation of embryo. And this opening or blastopore becomes mouth like this in Trochosphere larva. They are called protostome. And this blastopore becomes anus like this in Tornaria. And they are called deuterostome. So these are some differences. Affinities with Echinodermata. So actually there is no resemblance between adult Hemichordata and adult Echinodermata. But Tornaria larva of Hemichordata shows a very striking resemblance with the Auricularia larva and Bipinnaria larva of Echinodermata. So the larvae of Echinodermata are called Auricularia and Bipinnaria, and the larva of Hemichordata is called Tornaria. So they have some similarities. So these are the resemblances. First is identical ciliated band. Ciliated band is present in both of them, and this is very similar structure. So this is Tornaria larva. You can see this is the ciliated band. This band contains number of cilia. It is present in both of them. The alimentary canal has same shape and structure. So the alimentary canal is actually digestive tract that has same shape and structure in both of them. Blastopore becomes anus in both. So blastopore that is present in the embryo of its gastrulation stage, it is the opening, it becomes anus in both of them. Similar pattern of cleavage and gastrulation in both. So the pattern of cleavage and the pattern of gastrulation is also similar in both of them. Then similar formation and arrangement of coelomic cavities. So this is the cavity or coelom, and its formation and the arrangement of coelom is similar in both of them. And they have enterocoelous coelom. So enterocoelous coelom is like this. So this is the archenteron. It is present in the embryo. Archenteron is the primary gut, and here you can see the folds. Two folds are there in this archenteron area. These two folds will be pinched off from this archenteron, and here the coelom is getting formed. So this type of coelom is called enterocoelous coelom, and both of them have this type of coelom. And the coelom is divided into three antero-posterior parts. That means their coelom is divided into three parts from the anterior part to their posterior part. In hemichordata, they are called proboscis coelom like these. Then it is the collar coelom, and collar coelom is also called mesocoel. Proboscis coelom is also called protocoel, and in the posterior part they have the trunk coelom, that is also called metacoel. This is the alimentary canal. So these three parts are there in their coelom in hemichordata. And in echinoderms, the coelom is also divided into three parts, and they are called axocoel, that is present in the anterior-most area, then hydrocele, that is present in the middle part, and then somatocele, that is present in the posterior part of the coelom. So there are following differences between two groups. So first is the eye spot is absent in Bipennaria larva, whereas it is present in Tornaria larva. So this is the Tornaria larva. In this spot they have the eye spot that is absent in Bipennaria. And the protocoel is paired in echinoderms, whereas in case of Tornaria larva this is unpaired. So in this picture you can see this is the proboscis coelom. This is unpaired because they have only one proboscis coelom in Tornaria larva, but in case of echinoderms they have two such coelom, that is called protocoel. They have two protocoel, and in Tornaria larva they have only one proboscis coelom. So due to these differences, the hemichordata are not grouped with chordata, annelida or echinodermata. Therefore, it appears most reasonable to place them in the invertebrates as an independent phylum.